Leo, very warm welcome. My name's Drew. This is Modern Tarot. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Those of you that are new here, welcome. And those of you that are returning, welcome back. And to all my personal clients who I know watch these videos, a big shout out to you guys. So, Leo, let's have a look. What's happening for you the last couple of weeks of April, the 15th to the 31st? I hope you guys are doing well and life is sweet for you. Leo. So one more shuffle, guys, and I'm going to go straight into this, all right? Let's have a look. Leo. All right, look, Destiny, Wheel of Fortune, things going in your favor the last couple of weeks of April. It's a brilliant card, all right? Major Arcana, guys. All right, so things might be looking good. Things might be moving forward for you, Leo. Let's have a look here. Now, the center of this reading, okay, we've got the two of Wands, all right, in reverse. So this has been... So if the undercurrent is the Wheel of Fortune, this is going into a new cycle, okay? After maybe you've been feeling a little bit stuck, Leo, all right? The challenge has been, okay, look, 10 of Cups in reverse, all right? Not emotionally content, all right? In love, life, work, all right? Things might not have been, you might have felt stuck, all right, Leo? And it's a challenge, the 10 of Cups, okay? In reverse, I might add. So, it's like feeling stuck in love, in life, just stagnancy. Okay, the reason why it's all happening, okay, some of you guys, if this is about love, and it's not a personal reading, right, just for some of you guys, some of you might be feeling stuck due to, you might have come out of no contact with somebody and things weren't really going ahead, All right, recent past, you might have avoided a tower moment with somebody, Leo, and your focus is, you've lost a little bit of hope in a situation, okay? Whatever this might mean. I'm going to clarify this reading. Okay, what you don't see coming towards you, work looks great. You're going to be working hard, Leo, whatever you're doing. This guy, 8 of Pentacles here, he's fashioning, he's 7th Pentacle here, he's got another one to do. So, work you might be quite busy throughout the last couple of weeks of April. Your energetic field is you're unapologetic. You're not really opening to new offers in love, especially for those of you that have felt stuck and stagnant and, these kind of things. It's you're not that romantic throughout the last couple of weeks of April, okay? Outside influences here, a card of freeing yourself, okay? We've got the 2 of Swords in reverse here, 2 of Swords in the upright. This is like not knowing which direction to go, blindfolded. There's possibly two different directions, but which one do I go for? And it's just like indecision becomes a decision, But, you're freeing yourself from something, Leo, whatever that might be. Outside influences, your fears, Temperance in reverse. You don't want to feel out of balance, okay? It's not great for Leos, it dampens their fire when they're out of balance, especially emotionally, with the 10 of Cups in reverse here. You're gregarious, fun-loving, people, you love people, and when all is well emotionally for Leos, they really thrive in life. And I think really, it's a fear of yours. You don't want to be out of balance. And the outcome is, some of you guys might be leaving commitments, or some of you are not about committing to anything throughout the last couple of weeks of April. So let me clarify this reading, guys, and let's have a look at what's going down. Now, remember, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. It's not a personal reading, guys. So why are you feeling a little bit stuck, Leo? That's the most important thing here, right? How do we free ourselves? And, it can happen. And sometimes, we're stuck for a reason. The powers that be have taken us out of action in order for us to contemplate something and these kind of things, all right? So let's have that. 2 of Wands in reverse, right? Feeling stuck. Yeah, look, some of you, all right, you're feeling stuck and you're not feeling... Some of you actually feel that, you can't make it alone, okay? I'm just saying, all right? After... You might have avoided a tower moment with somebody, might have come out of contact. Some of you might be dealing with someone that's not actually single, and that makes you feel stuck in a situation, just for some of you. But, if it's the center of your reading, guys, it's feeling stuck and, you're not feeling that you're doing that great, all right? Might be just thinking, guys, all right? You're not doing that great financially, and you might be... Some of you might be a little bit codependent, all right, to a situation due to money and these kind of things. Okay, yeah, look, I'm just wondering whether, the challenge is some of you, somebody might have been juggling. They weren't single. Okay. You might have found that out. Okay. And it might have come after a bit of no contact. They might have reached out to you again and you found out something, just for some of you. All right. But yeah, somebody might have been juggling. Okay. And it came out of no contact. Yeah. Look, some of you, like I said, you might have come out of no contact with someone or opened up contact, realized that, well, they're giving to other people. There's a Three of Pentacles here, right? And so there's no new start, okay? Just for some of you. Recent past, okay, we got the Tower in reverse. You avoided something. Some of you might have been dealing with somebody that was a little bit bitchy, or, it doesn't have to be just about love, guys, but, you might have avoided the Tower moment with someone that was highly narcissistic there, but the Queen of Swords in reverse, she's not a nice character, guys. Your focus is you've lost hope in a player. All right, we've got a fellow fire sign here, possibly Aries, Leo, Sag. Your focus is, you know what, I'm no longer hopeful about this situation. Somebody might have been juggling, guys. All right, but yeah, what you don't see coming is you're working hard to change the cycle, to move forward, Leo. We've got the Wheel of Fortune here, destiny. Something around work might be destined, which you don't see it coming. It might be really good for you guys. Your energetic field is, you want the Ten of Cups, Leo, but you're unapologetic. You're not interested in apologies of anyone that's broken your trust or juggled you. You're a choice, not an option. Remember, and so you want the Ten of Cups, and you want it unapologetically, if that makes sense. So for a lot of you guys, you've lost hope in players or someone that was playing you. It kind of like dampened a little bit of your innocence there, Leo, but you still believe in good things, which is great, all right? Wow, look at this. I mean, you went flying across the table there, the Strength card. All right, you are passionate. You are determined, Leo, to unstick yourself from this. All right, we've got the Two of Swords in reverse, all right, and then we've got the Strength card, all right? You're showing up in this reading. And so you're determined to, master this situation with grace, I might add. Yeah, and in your fears, okay, we've got like major life decisions. So we've got Temperance in reverse, all right, this is being out of balance, and then we've got Judgment, two major arcanas in your fears. So you're fearing to be out of balance, and it's, you need to make major life decisions now, okay? And it's a fear to make these decisions. Look, you're going to be happy, all right, without this commitment, for some of you, all right? It's not a personal reading, guys. But a lot of you, you've got the Hierophant in reverse, okay, which can talk about commitments. It can talk about, traditional ways of doing things, traditional setups, libraries, schools, anything to do with societal collated knowledge, these kind of things, all right? But certainly it can talk about commitments. And then we've got the Sun here. And so how this is looking for you the last couple of weeks is you're happy that you're no longer committed to something because your energetic field outside influences, I want the Ten of Cups, I deserve the Ten of Cups. I'm being strong and I'm unsticking myself here. So great resolve for you the last couple of weeks of April, Leo. Liking this for you guys. If it is about love, let's have a look for Leo. If it is about love. So, remember in your focus, it was, losing hope, someone that was a bit of a player. King of Wands in reverse, all right? Let's have a look. Flirt. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. All right, so for some of you guys, somebody might have been a bit too flirtatious, these kind of things, all right, and you lost hope in the situation. You might have found out that they're giving to others, these kind of things, and you've no time for it. You can unstick yourself and be resolute in that idea. Why is that your focus, all right? Let's have a look. Some of you might just decide to be quite gregarious and very flirtatious throughout April. Some of you might be in the stage of playing the players, all right? Just for some of you, right? Again, not a personal reading. So you might be just out there having a good time, all right? for some of you. Let's have a look. I cannot leave them. I want my cake and eat it. All right. So, for some of you guys, all right, there's someone there, and you might have found out that they were juggling, all right, and it wasn't your 10 of cups. It's not in line with what you want, and you don't want to be foolish with your heart, okay? I'm going to take another one of those, actually. Tell me more, because it's your focus of yours, all right? Three of Wands in reverse, it can talk about losing hope. It's such an optimistic card. It's the color, vibrant color yellow, which is all about sense of self, purpose, these kind of things. Let's have a look. I'm serious about us. I want to build with you. Somebody might have thought that, I can just play people here, and, I'm serious about us. I want to build with you. And then, I can't leave them. I want my cake and eat it. You might have been dealing with someone quite selfish, Leo, and you've no time for it. You just find it a bit disingenuous and a little bit immature. And you kind of want kings, to show in the upright, sharp the correct way. I don't sharp at all. This is for you, Leo, okay? Some advice around that for those of you that are going through that. Work looks good though, all right? Something major is going to go down at work, which is going to be quite lucky, all right? It looks like an auspicious time for work for you guys. Some advice around this situation, something to consider. Self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. So, I think really, Leo, for those of you, your self-esteem is super important, and you're not going to put yourselves the last couple of weeks in April in situations which are just taking away from that. You're unsticking yourself, okay? There's a lot of yellow in this reading, so it is about sense of self, self-esteem, and I'm not allowing anybody to change my state if it is about love, okay? So it looks good for you guys. You realize your worth, Leo, throughout the last 2 weeks, and you're not letting anyone. So it's almost like your state, you're not putting your personal emotional state in the hands of other people that just aren't serious, or they're just there to mess you around, all right? Give me one of these, some advice for you guys around that situation. For Leo, last 2 weeks of April. Some advice. Throat chakra. Yeah, the throat chakra, color blue might be important to you throughout the last couple of weeks, but the throat chakra is all about communication. And I think really what it is your last 2 weeks, in line with your self-esteem and unsticking yourself, and, having strength to unstick yourself here, you're not scared to talk up and tell people like it is. I don't think you've got any time for ambiguity throughout the last 2 weeks of April, Leo. I think you're, I'm going to speak my mind here. I don't stand for anything like that. You're not scared of anyone. You're not scared of sticking up for yourself throughout the last 2 weeks of April. In love, in life, in work, guys. A positive message from this deck. This is called Pass Around the Smile. It's a beautiful little deck. So, positive message for you, Leo, throughout the last couple of weeks of April. Let's have a look. You're glowing, and look, when I see this, and I see you unsticking yourselves, you're back to yourself, because you realize that situations like this just take away from your balance, and it's a fear of yours, and you're making major decisions, and prepared to speak up, with the throat chakra there. You're glowing from the inside out, Leo. So choose to feel good about yourself. You will only attract positive people, places and circumstances and opportunities by doing so. And I think really that's what it's about for you. Speaking up, no time for bullshit, no time for people that are keeping you as, choices and not options. People that want their cake and eat it, prepared to breadcrumb Leo's no time for it. You realize your self-worth here. Self-esteem is going to be very important for you. Setting boundaries, saying no. No is a complete sentence, Leo, throughout April. Remember that. For those of you that are maybe just met someone and freshly dating, let's have a message about that throughout the last couple of weeks of April. It's safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. It came out in reverse, all right? So just watch out, vet people throughout the last couple of weeks of April, those of you that are newly dating. It said it's safe for you to love, but in reverse. So, don't don't wear your heart on your sleeve throughout the last 2 weeks of April, Leo. Measure it in time, see how people are showing up. Actions, not words. I think that's what it's actually saying here. Because you seem to be somebody that's willing to speak up throughout the last couple of weeks of April with the throat chakra there. Be very important. Let's have a look. Where do I want to go? One of these for you, all right? Another message for Leo. But your energetic field looks good. You want good things, Leo. And you deserve them. And you've no time for apologies, for acts and deeds throughout April that were totally unnecessary in the first place, if that makes sense. You're not open to feigned apologies and apologies. A bit like somebody really pisses you off. They do something ridiculous that should never happen in the first place in a loving connection, friends, family, work, all this kind of stuff. All right, and then what they do is try and make an amends by buying a cheap bunch of flowers, on the exit of the freeway, if it happens in the States. I know it happens in the UK and places like that. They're selling flowers at traffic lights, right? So when I'm in a state of appreciation, I'm a vibrational and terrible reading, guys, sorry. When I'm in a state of appreciation, I'm in vibrational alignment with my true love nature. So you're going to keep it moving, Leo. You've no time for disingenuous playerism. I think you want the Ten of Cups. You're not prepared to listen to anyone's bullshit apologies. Happy to let these commitments go for some of you where you found out something was a bit untoward there, and it's going to make you happy. The sun's going to shine again because you're going to release yourself and unstick yourself and be really prudent and strong about it with your own card here. Your own energy is showing up in this reading. If you were a song, Leo, throughout the last couple of weeks of April, all right, the lyrics might mean something, the band might mean something, just the melody might evoke certain feelings within you. If it's not your genre, maybe listen to it once and then, don't listen to it again. But there might be a subliminal message in the song for you guys. If I Were a Carpenter by Robert Plant, I think this has come out before for you, okay? Again, it's about self-esteem, okay? If you really look at this song, he's a carpenter and, she's this beautiful lady and he's wondering, is he good enough for her? And so I think really Leo's wising up and going, I deserve the Ten of Cups and I've no time for bullshit throughout April. And, these selfish people that kind of like want their cake and eat it, you know what, go and have your cake elsewhere. Leo's no time for it. So look, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. My name's Drew. This is Modern Tarot. If you like the content, please like, share, or subscribe. It means I can continue to do this for free for you. If you want a personal reading, you can reach out at moderntarot.net or browse the YouTube Modern Tarot store, and I'll do my best to help you. In the meantime, Leo, amazing work. Stay in your energy here. All right, the sun is coming. Okay, be a bit flirtatious. Okay, throughout April. Those of you that are into openly dating and all these kind of things. You want the Ten of Cups, and I don't think you should settle for anything less. Leo, take it easy, and I'll see you in another reading. Bye now.